Nice. Good morning. It is 1 degree outside. Oh, and then you wonder why I don't want you to come out, right? Anyway, here we go. So this is going to be on the floor. If you'd like a little protection for your knees, feel free. You can do this out of the chair if you need to. I think that will work. Actually, I'm going to put myself a little on a diagonal. So about a month and a half ago, I mentioned, hey, we're going to start on our push-up series. Well, good morning. All right. So obviously we're going to do modified stuff. There's my face. Sorry. Everything's going to be modified this morning because this is our first set. And I want you to be able to move tomorrow. I'm hoping to be at the studio in the morning, just a FYI, before I forget to say anything. So before we start, or as we start, I should say, so go ahead and put your knees underneath your hips, abs are in. I'm adding some pressure to my wrist, and then I'm going to back off of them. I'm going to add pressure. So we need to wake up our wrist before we get started. It's nice and easy, nothing crazy, just rocking back and forth. Obviously keeping your abs full up and in, your shoulders back and down, all the wonderful stuff that we need to do to make our bodies happy. Let's do one more rock back. I'm going to turn one of my hands over, and I'm applying pressure to the back of my hand to stretch my forearm. Now the other side. Nice little stretch. And of course, like I said, we're out of bed. It's 6:30 in the morning. It's 1 degree here in the Midwest. Need to go okay. All right. If you can't sit like this, whatever you need, right? We're just going to roll some shoulders, open them up, hear them crack and pop. I'm trying to figure out I know what it is. I'm going to turn off that light in just a second, right? Open and close. Wake everything up. Like I said, it might be snapping and cracking this morning. It's okay, right? I'm going to turn off this light so it's not the light. What's happening here? Oh, I see what's happening. That's better. And that's better. Reflection. It's awesome. All right, so here we go. Modified push-up. We're going to have our hands underneath our shoulders. I am not going all the way down. This is it. That's all I want right now. Find your chest. Squeeze your armpits. Think about your elbows tracking back and not out. One more. Aren't those fun? Yay, that's our beginning, right? So going right over to our back. Yes, we're going to be flip-flopping. You don't have to flip-flop fast. That was hard to say. But I do need you to move. Feet are going to go outside. Rock the hips just a little bit. Stretching into that low back. And 4, 3, 2, one more. Come back to the center. We're just doing basic crunches. Just lift, lower. Now, when you're doing a crunch, do not look at your legs. Keep your face towards the ceiling and think about your chest lifting versus your head. A lift and a lower, a lift and a lower. Concentrating on pulling the abs up and in. Pulling your heels towards your glutes, doing your Kegel. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Nice. And that's going to be kind of our series, is flipping back and forth, doing modified push-ups and doing some sort of abdominal exercise. I'm going to change the hand position on this one. So before we were directly underneath, I want to go to the edge of the mat and I want to turn out. And again, modified position. My chest is between my hands, not my shoulders, because you can see what happens to my tush. Bring it forward, right? Abs are in. Now my elbows are going to kind of track to the back corner, like 5 and 7. Nice and easy. Couple more. Last one. So even though we've done just 2 sets, you should already start feeling upstairs, right? Crazy head this morning. I'm going to have my head at this end. I'm going to lay on a diagonal. So my toes are pointed towards where the wall meets the ceiling. My abdominals are pulled up and in. I'm on the meaty part of my glute. Pulling the rib cage up. We're just going to bring the knees in. We're going to take them out. Bring them in and take them out. Finding those obliques. These are so much fun. Said no one ever. Because you know, if we do one side, we have to do the other side. 8 and 9 and 10. And I'm keeping them low rep, right? Not a big deal. So we did the little warm up with our knees just a second ago. So you ready? On the diagonal, here we go. Pull in. And again, I'm keeping my chest lifted. I'm not thinking about my head. And you're just breathing nice and easy. Eight and 9. We have one more of these lovely, lovely things, right? And again, come up. Anytime you need to go, holy smokes, Batman, feel free, right? But I do, however, want you to push yourself. Don't sandbag on me, right? This is important for all of us. We have to keep our strength up. Pushing and pulling our body weight is super important. I want to do more of a staggered stance, and I want my hands a little wider. And not that it matters, but I feel like I have better resistance on something versus the carpet. So I'm going to take my right hand high, my left hand low, and my body is definitely squared up, and I'm going to bring my chest up so it's kind of centered. And I'm taking my knees back. Here we go, shoulders back and down, and there's one. Nice. Make sure your hands are turned out. And again, we're not going deep. One more. Come up. Shake out your arms. Left hand's going to go high. Right hand's going to go low. Shoulders are back and down. Put that chest in between and drop. Here's 1. Fingers are turned out. 3, 4. I'm going to feel this one tomorrow. 6, 7. Just one more. So you should have felt more in your chest on that one than your back. And if you didn't, it's okay. You're just going to find the weakest spot, first of all. And you can see that I have all my stuff laying over here. I think it's important that we have our extra devices to make sure we get a good workout and good technique while we're doing it. All right, we're almost 15 minutes in. Good for you. Right back down. All right, I want to take the knees wide again. Make sure the back is okay. One more side to side. We're going to bring the knees in. Make sure your back's like on, okay, I'm stretched. All right, stack the knees over your hips. Now take your feet and knees and make sure they're not touching, right? Take your right leg out and bring it in. Take your left leg out and bring it in. Rest for a second. Arms come up. We're going to do kind of the same concept, arm and arm. Now, left leg, right arm, out, switch, out, switch, out. Push your lower back into the floor. Pull your navel down to your spine. All the stuff is working. And yes, this is a dead bug Pilates move, which I really like. It's harder than what people give it credit for. When done properly, right? When you push everything down into the floor and make sure your core is very active here. Let's do 4, 3, 2, one more, please. And when you let go, like you can feel all the front of your body, which is just fabulous, right? One little move, you're not having to like pick anything up. You're just moving with gravity, right? And gravity's sometimes a good thing, and sometimes gravity's a horrible thing. All right. And now I feel like I'm like, go do this, do that, but I only have 30 minutes, so we got a lot to do. Okay, so before we start, the top hand is what's going to be working. The shoulder needs to really stay down. You're crunching from the side. Those are the muscles, so all of this has to work, okay? I'm just going to tuck my arm in, and I'm pulling down. And I'm just squeezing everything together. So depending on how strong your upper body is, depends on where this hand goes. This makes it a little easier. The further I slide in front of me, the harder it is. Shoulder back and down. Try starting harder, and as you get tired, slide the hand out and work. From harder to easier, right? Ready? Here we go. We have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Lovely. So you should feel like all of this, which I love those little push-ups. They don't look like much, but they really are effective. And again, bottom arm tucks, shoulders are locked in. I tend to straighten my legs because I like a longer anchor, you might call them. Pull your abs. And again, we're going to start in the front and work our way as we get a little fatigued. Shoulders are back and down. Ready? Push. Squeeze your abs. Ooh, this side's weaker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more, thankfully. Okay, that one made me warm, right? Getting where we can do that push across, finding your chest, finding your abs, finding your obliques. All right, so this is a little balance stuff. So I'm on here's my sits bones, here's the back side of the sits bones. Chest is lifted, toes are off the floor. Legs are parallel to the floor. We're going to release, hold, release, hold, release, hold, right? So there's a bracing action to give my abs just a little bit of a reprieve, right? Let's do 2 more, please. Last one. And rest. Right? It's just a little core stability and half boat. I wasn't joking. I actually got warm on that last one. We're going to stay in this position. Arms are going to go back. Now, again, all of us have different mobility and flexibility in our wrist. So you do what's good for you. Abs are in, shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted. This, I can't get range of motion. I feel like I get stuck right there. But if I turn my hands slightly out, I can drop further back. And then I think triceps, right? Bend your elbows and then triceps. And you really have to think triceps, right? Because other muscles really want to do more of the work. And I want my triceps to start looking better, right? Don't we all, right? So think about your back of your upper arms pushing and doing the work. Push and do the work. Let's do one more, please. And push and do the work. So I'm hoping that you could feel more triceps doing the job than you say your lats or your delts or whatever, right? Definitely want to think triceps. All right, we're right back down on your back. So right now, when you relax, you should feel like your abdominals are starting to drop in, right? They're not like sucked in, but they're just on their own. Just have this natural gravity pull, which is a great thing to have. We're going to take your legs over to the right, and they're stacked. So I'm allowing my left oblique to give me a little stretch because I'm getting ready to work it. All right, so push the right side of your back into the floor so you're already engaged. Squeeze your thighs together. We're going to lift, lower, lift, lower. This is where we're starting. 5, 6, 7. We're going to do the top half now. Legs stay down. Ready? Lift your chest. Lift your chest. And 4. And 5. And 6. 7. We're going to do both ends. Are you ready? Do the best you can. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. And you should feel all this area. We're going to switch sides. And again, take a moment. Find the stretch first. Make sure everybody's happy before you start. Make sure the left side of your back is pressed into the floor before you start. So everything's engaged. Legs here, ready, lift. Here's 1, 2. I like doing the legs first. I feel like it kind of primes the pump. And 5, 6, 7. One more here. Now, press the legs down, press your back down, chest lifts. Here's 1. And you're not going to get a lot of height if you're doing these properly. 4, but man, you can feel the work. 5, 6, 7. And are you ready? Squeeze both ends. Pull up, release. Pull up, release. Here's 3 of 8. You can do it. 4, 5, 6, 7. Just one more. And kick yourself up, right? So you should be feeling upper body and you should be feeling abs. I want to do a good stretch because, like I said, we have not done any push-ups for a very long time. And this is like the start. Hence the reason I did abs and arms today versus a full 45-minute pushing weight class. We're going to have the hands out front. We're going to push the hips over to the right. I'm going to push the hips over to the left. It's opening up the sides of the body. Because we did a lot of obliques today, which I love working obliques. I think they're harder than my rectus abdominis. I feel like we crunch forward all the time and we don't hit those angles as much as we need to. One more each side. Nice. Sit back, reach through. Opening up that shoulder area. Release the tension in your low back. Release your hips. And let's switch sides. Adjust when you need to. So I'm doing kind of a modified shell child's pose. It's not really about my legs, it's about the position I'm trying to get into. Bring it out. Press your armpits towards the floor. Release your back, release your hips. And up to all fours. Pull your abs up and in. You should feel them activate, right? I'm going to put my hand, my forearm on my low back. And I want to open up and bring it back. And open and bring it back. One more. Open and bring it back. Hand goes behind your head. And we go the other way. Keep that arm long. You know I love these. One more. And we're going to switch. Hand goes arm, forearm. Speak English. Shoulders are back and down. Goes on your lower back. Ready? Open. Open. And one more. Hand goes behind your head. And fold in. And fold in. And fold in. And have a seat. I keep looking at the time going, oh, that was 3 minutes. That took too long. Anyway, it's always about adjusting every time you move, right? So I want the palms to be out, and then I want you to lift, right? So I'm trying to get these hands to go down. And now flip, open, flip. So this is actually extension, and this is flexion, right? We're going to take them over, drop, and drop. This way should be a little easier than what we were just doing. It's all good. Now rotate. We have to take care of everything. Other direction. Right? So wrist, fingers, all the good stuff. Make everybody happy after you do your workout. First of all, they won't be mad at you. And if they are mad, they won't be as mad for as long. And you're just strengthening up your grip, your wrist, your forearm, everything we need to help push ourselves up. I'd like to do one more little thing. Bend your knee underneath. We're just going to roll forward, allowing those hips to open up. Always hip openers. Always, always, always. And let's switch. And you're like, but we didn't work hips. It's okay. Always hip openers. Your hips, when they get a little tight, it affects your whole body. Like there's nothing that doesn't go, oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Good job. Like I said, I'm hoping to be at the studio in the morning. Everything should be cleared off enough. Thursday, I should be there. Friday might be iffy. It's supposed to snow again. Yay. But I don't know how much y'all got, but I think we're right at 10 to 12 inches here. It was a lot. We're cleaning off the driveway and the car today. So have a good day. Take care. Stay warm.